Joining us now is Donald Trump Jr. Don, welcome to the program. Don, we'll play some of this tape here, but you were there at that electric entrance at UFC. It's a full cultural realignment. Share with our audience what you experienced on Saturday evening.
Honestly, it was just epic, Charlie. Like, we're watching the cultural shift happen before our eyes, where, MAGA, America First, however you want to look at it, has been stigmatized. It's been criticized. If you said anything like that, you were one of the ists, you were racist, you were a misogynist, you were whatever. Watching what happened there, John Jones coming out, whether you won a fight, whether you lost a fight, Bo Nickel, all coming over to my father, all embracing America, putting America first, being actually vocal and psyched about it was epic. Then you turn on what happened on Sunday on NFL. I mean, the NFL, one of the wokest places in the world, all the players we probably knew didn't actually buy into the nonsense put out there by leadership. I'm watching guys do the Trump YMCA dance in the end zone time after time. It's just incredible. I mean, the left, they lost their minds. Everyone knows it. They're no longer cool, and people are embracing America first across the board. Every demographic, every age group. It's just spectacular to watch in real time.
Yeah, and so, listen, Don, you've been around these fights for quite a while, and you've seen, just walk through that realignment where many people thought the Trump movement was dead to rights on January 7th, 2021. And now, look, 4 years later, it is the most popular. I'm sure, Don, you could comment on this. Friends you haven't talked to in a long time are calling, "Hey, Don, how you doing?" Everyone wants to get back in right now. Talk about how that culture realignment occurred.
Well, Charlie, you were there with me from day one back in 2015. You did this stuff with me. And then, we won, I guess, I forget what exact date. I guess it was November 8th, 2015 when we won. And all of a sudden, "Hey, buddy, we were with you all along." It's like, no, you weren't. You didn't pick up my call for, 6 months. Now you're with me. Then, as you and I have also discussed, day one isn't actually November 8th, 2015. Day one is actually January 7th, 2021. Where were you on that day? Because you could be with us before, but if you sold out, if you bought into the narrative, if you said, "Oh my God, it's worse than Pearl Harbor, and 9/11 combined on January 7th, that's the new day one. And so now we know. I put up a tweet earlier this morning basically saying, "Hey, Democrats, had you not been insane, had you not cheated, had you not played every game in the book, you'd be done with Trump in 60 days. You would have had the same guys in the administration that were slow rolling him, that were doing the bidding basically of the Democrat Party or of the DC Uni Party and the swamp. You'd be done. Now you got 4 years where we know what we're doing, where we have a chance to start from scratch with people who we know are absolute warriors for the movement. Now you're stuck with that for 4 years. Now, as Billy Madison would say, now you're all in big, big trouble."
I love it. And so, in the mob, there's this thing, if you think someone is an informant, you make them take a little drugs. So I have to say, put 19 up on screen here. Don, you got to explain to me how you got Bobby Kennedy can we get 19 up on screen? How you got Bobby Kennedy to eat McDonald's? He looks less than thrilled, by the way, at this 2 a.m. fast food initiation.
Yeah.
So, Don, what's going on here?
Listen, we're just having fun. We got done from the fights. It's the third all-nighter I've seen my father pull in like 2 weeks since he won when he did 2 all-nighters in a row. But we got back on the plane. He's like, "We don't need to stay in New York. Let's just go back home. We got a lot of work to do." So that was a 3 a.m. McDonald's run. Bobby did have some McDonald's. We definitely had some fun with that one. The memes about it. He definitely looks like he got his hand caught in the cookie jar with that one. So we sort of joked, Maha starts on Monday. Like all good diets, you got to be able to have a cheat day every once in a while. So it was pretty funny. I think that's like my most viral Instagram post probably ever, actually. People just had a good time with it. But, just sitting there with Bobby, sitting there with Tulsi on the plane prior to that. She stayed in New York. He came back with us, and Elon talking about the things that we're going to do. I mean, that's where the Democrats have a real problem. And you would never have had this kind of buy-in from people with that level of expertise. Again, whether it's Bobby, whether it's Tulsi, whether it's Elon, people from all different sides who've also taken the crap from the swamp, who don't just buy in arbitrarily to the dogma of one side or the other. It was actually one of the most epic conversations. I mean, you're sitting there, for 3 hours on a plane, talking about space with Elon. I mean, it was incredible, man. We have such an incredible opportunity to do something different, to change what has failed the American public for so long, and just do it differently, not have that kind of buy-in. And you have the mandate clearly from the American people. So the 4 years of crap that we went through is so worth it. It's so totally worth it to be able to have this chance to really have a complete realignment. And again, if the Democrats hadn't lost their minds, if they had been reasonable, if they'd let it actually play out, if they didn't pull off every stop, if they didn't start the lawfare, whether it was the financial lawfare, whether it was the lawfare in D.C. itself, if they didn't expose their underbelly of just how evil and sick they have become, if they didn't prioritize things that don't mean anything to the average American, if they weren't out there screaming, I don't care if you can't afford your home or your groceries or your children are getting murdered by illegals, I don't care. We need to make sure that 3-year-olds can get gender-affirming care without parental consent. If they didn't do that, we'd be done in 60 days. And it would be back to business as usual. And America would continue down their slow path towards extinction. Now, we can change all of that. It's the greatest opportunity in American history. It's a 1776 kind of moment, and I'm here for all of it, man. I'm here for all of it.